In this video, you will learn all about algebraic expressions. You will know what is an algebraic expression. You will discover how to recognize like terms in an expression. You will learn how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide expressions. You will also be able to substitute values in an expression. You will determine how to expand and factorize expressions. And lastly, a basic introduction of quadratic expressions will be presented. So, let's get to it. Before we continue, don't forget to click the subscribe button below and hit that notification bell so that you get notified whenever a new Math Rescue video comes out. What is an algebraic expression? An expression is a collection of symbols, usually x and y, and operations, such as the plus, minus, multiply, and divide sign. It can also contain numbers. Expressions are important and occur everywhere in mathematics. They can be simplified to as few parts as possible, making them easier to understand. Each part of an expression is called a term. A term can be a number, a symbol, or a number with a symbol. Terms with the same symbols are like terms and it is possible to combine them. The terms 2x and 3x are like terms because they both contain the symbol x. Terms 2y and minus 4y are also like terms because each contains the symbol y. Simplifying expressions involving addition and subtraction. When an expression is made up of a number of terms that are to be added or subtracted, there are a number of important steps that need to be followed in order to simplify it. The first step is to write down the expression. Before simplifying the expression, write it out on a line from left to right. Next, is to group the like terms together, keeping the operations as they are. Then, work out the result of each term. Further simplify the result by removing any ones in front of symbols. Simplifying expressions involving multiplication. To simplify an expression that involves terms linked by multiplication signs, the individual numbers and symbols first need to be separated from each other. Let's say we have this expression. The term 6a means 6 times a. Similarly, the term 2b means 2 times b. Separate the expression into the individual numbers and symbols involved like this. Then, multiply all the like terms, number by number, symbol by symbol. Thus, the product of multiplying 6 and 2 is 12. And that of multiplying a and b is ab. Then, simplify the expression. The simplified expression is 12ab, written without the multiplication sign. To simplify an expression involving division, look for any possible cancellation. This means looking to divide all terms of the expression by the same number or letter. Any chance to cancel the expression down makes it smaller and easier to understand. For example, let's say we are asked to divide 6q squared by 2q. Q squared means q times q. 2q means 2 times q. Both terms, the top and bottom, are cancelled down by dividing them by 2q. Dividing 6 by 2 leaves 3. Dividing q by q leaves 1. Therefore, the expression is now simplified into 3pq over 1, or just simply 3pq. Cancelling down by dividing each term equally makes the expression smaller. Once the value of each symbol in an expression is known, for example that y is equal to 2, the overall value of the expression can be found. This is called substituting the values in the expression or evaluating the expression. To further illustrate, the formula for the area of a rectangle is length times width. Substituting 8 cm for the length, and 5 cm for the width, gives an area of 8 cm times 5 cm. And the area is equal to 40 square centimeters. Another example, substitute the values in the expression 2x minus 2y minus 4y plus 3x, if x is equal to 1, and y is equal to 2. First, group the like terms together to simplify the expression. Group terms are easier to substitute. Now, Substitute the given values for x and y. The final answer is shown to be -7. Expanding and factorizing expressions. The same expression can be written in different ways: multiplied out, that is expanded, or grouped into its common factors, or factorized. How to expand an expression. The same expression can be written in a variety of ways, depending on how it will be used. Expanding an expression involves multiplying all the parts it contains, or terms, and writing it out in full. To expand an expression with a number outside a parenthesis, multiply all the terms inside the parenthesis by that number. The sign between the two terms, between the letters and numbers, remains the same. Simplifying the resulting terms to show the expanded expression in its final form. Here, 4 times a is simplified to 4a, and 4 times 3 to 12. Expanding multiple parentheses. To expand an expression that contains two parentheses, each part of the first one is multiplied by each part of the second parenthesis. To do this, split up the first parenthesis into its parts. Multiply the second parenthesis by the first part, and then by the second part of the first parenthesis. Here, the first parenthesis, 3x plus 1, is broken down, and each term is multiplied by the second parenthesis. The first term, 3x, is multiplied by 2y, and is equal to 6xy. 3x is multiplied this time into 3, and is equal to 9x. The second term, 1, is multiplied by 2y, and is equal to 2y. 1 is multiplied this time into 3, and is equal to 3. The expanded expression becomes 6xy plus 9x plus 2y plus 3. Squaring a parenthesis. Squaring a parenthesis simply means multiplying a parenthesis by itself. Write it out as two parentheses next to each other, and then multiply it to expand, as discussed earlier in this video. To expand a squared parenthesis, first write the expression out as two parentheses next to each other. Here, x minus 3 squared is written as x minus 3 times x minus 3. Split the first parenthesis into its terms, and multiply the second parenthesis by each term in turn. Thus, x times x is equal to x squared. X times -3 is equal to -3x. -3 times x is equal to -3x. And -3 times -3 is equal to +9. Simplify the resulting terms, making sure to multiply their signs correctly. Finally, add or subtract like terms together. The expanded expression now becomes x squared minus 6x plus 9. How to factorize an expression. Factorizing an expression is the opposite of expanding an expression. To do this, look for a factor, that is a number or a letter, that all the terms, or parts, of the expression have in common. The common factor can then be placed outside a parenthesis, enclosing what is left of the other terms. In this expression, 4b plus 12, 4 is a common factor of both 4b and 12, because both can be divided by 4. Divide each by 4 to find the remaining factors of each part. These go inside the parenthesis. Simplify the expression by placing the common factor, 4, outside a parenthesis. The other two factors, b plus 3, are placed inside the parenthesis. Factorizing more complex expressions. Factorizing can make it simpler to understand and write complex expressions with many terms. To factorize an expression, write out the factors of each part. Look for the numbers and letters that are common to all the factors. Here, all the parts of the expressions contains the letters x and y, and can be factorized by the number 3. These factors are combined to produce one common factor, and that is 3 times x times y. Then, set the common factor, 3xy, outside a set of parentheses. Inside, write what remains of each part when divided by it. And that is, 3x plus 5y, plus 6y, squared. Quadratic expressions. The last to be discussed in this video are quadratic expressions. An expression is a collection of mathematical symbols, such as x and y, and operations, such as plus and minus. A quadratic expression typically contains a squared variable, usually x squared, a number multiplied by the same variable, and a number. A quadratic expression is usually given in the form ax squared, plus bx, plus c, where a is the multiple of the squared x term, x squared, b is the multiple of x, and c is the number. The letters a, b, and c all stand for different positive or negative numbers. Some quadratic expressions can be factorized to form two expressions within parentheses, each containing a variable and an unknown number. Conversely, multiplying out these expressions gives a quadratic expression. Multiplying two expressions in parentheses means multiplying every term of one parenthesis with every term of the other. The final answer will be a quadratic expression. To multiply the two parentheses, split one of the parentheses into its terms. Multiply all the terms of the second parenthesis first by the x term, and then by the numerical term of the first parenthesis. Multiplying both terms of the second parenthesis by each term of the first in turn results in a squared term. Two terms multiplied by x, and two numerical terms multiplied together. Simplifying the expression by adding the x terms. This means adding the numbers together inside parentheses, and multiplying the result by an x outside. Looking back at the original quadratic expression, it is possible to see that the numerical terms are added to give b, and multiplied to give c. Take a close look at this quadratic expression. Before we end, please don't forget to subscribe so that we can make more videos of this kind, and tell us what you think in the comments below. That's it for this video. Be sure to watch our other videos on this channel to be able to survive math problems.